Let's discuss bond angle. A bond angle is the angle between two adjacent bonds. It involves three atoms. The nature of hybridization of central atom can change the bond angle of a molecule. In this methane molecule, this central atom has sp3 hybridization with 25% S character. This sp3 hybridized carbon is making four bonds with four hydrogen atoms, and all the bonds are directed towards the corners of regular tetrahedron. So the bond angle of a tetrahedral molecule is 109.28 degree. Now what about the sp2 hybridized central atom? Let's consider formaldehyde with carbon atom as a central atom with sp2 hybridization and 33.33% S character. This sp2 hybridized carbon is making three bonds, and the geometry of the molecule is trigonal planar. This is a planar molecule. When 360 degrees of a circle are divided into three parts, 120 degree is the angle where three bonds of a molecule in a circle are separated apart enough to minimize the repulsions. So 120 degree is the angle of formaldehyde. In oxoacetonitrile, the central atom is this carbon. The bond angle between carbon, and nitrogen would be of 180 degree. The geometry of the molecule is linear because the central atom is sp hybridized with 50% S character. As the central atom is making two bonds, so when we divide a circle of 360 degrees into two parts, 180 degree would be the angle where both the atoms would be separated enough to minimize the repulsions. So the bond angle formed by sp hybridized central atom is of 180 degree. As the hybridization is changing from sp3 to sp2 and sp, the S character is increasing from 25 to 33.33 and then 50%. And consequently, the bond angle is also increasing from 109 to 120 and then 180 degree. We can conclude that S character of a central atom is directly related with the bond angle. As S character is increasing, the bond angle is also increasing. There are various other examples in which the hybridization of central atom is sp3 and the bond angle is 109.28 degree. For example, in silanes, in carbon tetrachloride, ammonium ion, and sulfate ion all have 109.28 degree bond angle. The molecules having 120 degree bond angle are carboxylic acids, AlCl3 and BH3. The examples of molecule having 180 degree bond angle are BeCl2, HgCl2, and carbon dioxide. Now let's compare the bond angle of ammonia and phosphine. Both of these molecules have sp3 hybridization. Both have one lone pair. As there is a lone pair in a molecule, so the geometry will not be the regular tetrahedron, but trigonal pyramidal. As both the atoms have same geometry, same number and type of substituent attached with the central atom, and same nature of hybridization. But the bond angle in ammonia is 107 degree and in phosphine it is 93 degree. Why phosphine has lower bond angle than that of ammonia? The reason behind it is the electronegativity of nitrogen. As the electronegativity of nitrogen is greater than that of phosphorus, so bond pairs of H and N are more closer to the nitrogen. And so there is a repulsion between the bond pairs and bond pairs. This repulsion separates apart the bonds, increasing the bond angle. In the case of phosphine, though the bond pair is closer towards the phosphorus, but it has less electronegativity than that of nitrogen. So bond pairs are less closer to the phosphorus than that of nitrogen. There will be a less repulsion in the case of phosphine than that of ammonia. So the bond angle in phosphine is less than that of ammonia. As nitrogen and phosphorus both are in the same group and the electronegativity decreases down the group, we can say that as electronegativity is decreasing down the group, the bond angle is also decreasing. Let's compare the bond angle of water and H2S. Both of these molecules are sp3 hybridized. Both have two hydrogen atoms attached with central atom, and both have equal number of lone pairs. But water has a bond angle of 104.5 degree and H2S has a bond angle of 92.1 degree. Why H2S has lower bond angle than that of water? Same is the reason as I have mentioned earlier in the case of ammonia and phosphine. Oxygen has greater electronegativity than that of sulfur. So bond pair and bond pair lone pair repulsions are greater in water than H2S. These repulsions separate apart the bonds, increasing the bond angle. So water has greater bond angle than that of H2S. Then what will be the trend of bond angle in a period? Nitrogen and oxygen are in the same period. Nitrogen has one lone pair and oxygen has two lone pairs. According to Vesper theory, the lone pair repulsions are greater than the bond pair repulsions. Though ammonia has three bond pairs, water has two bond pairs. But ammonia has one lone pair and water has two lone pairs. So oxygen of water will feel greater repulsions and will decrease the bond angle to 104.5 degree. So greater number of lone pairs on central atom, lower will be the bond angle. Now let's compare the bond angle of ammonia and NF3. Both of these molecules have equal number of lone pairs, same nature of hybridization, but different type of substituents. In ammonia, the bond pairs are directed towards the nitrogen, while in the case of NF3, the bond pairs are directed towards the fluorine because fluorine is more electronegative than that of nitrogen. So nitrogen in NF3 will feel the lower electronic density around itself because the bond pairs are directed towards the fluorine. So there will be a less repulsions of bond pair, lone pair, in the case of NF3. This will decrease the bond angle to 102.5 degree. We can say that when central atom is same and substituents are different, we can compare the bond angles of molecule on the basis of inductive effect. So this is all about the bond angles and the parameters that determine the bond angle of a molecule. These are nature of hybridization of a central atom, electronegativity of central atom, lone pairs on central atom, and the nature of substituent attached with the central atom. Thanks for watching.